Andrew Tate, the most Googled man on planet Earth, just exposed why men all over the world are under attack. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why men are under attack and what you can do to not only be the best version of yourself, but to win that war and get your time and freedom back. Let's get into it. What's up guys, this is JC and welcome to the Wealth Engineering channel. This is where I create content so that you can be the best version of yourself in all aspects of your life, starting with your wealth. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a very important topic, why there is a war on men and what can we do about it? How can we fight back? We're going to be talking about that, how do we get our wealth back and everything. I want to give a special shout out to Valuetainment, especially with Patrick Bet-David, one of my favorite channel on YouTube for over 5 years. They just put a video online, a 5-hour long podcast with Andrew Tate, who was once considered the most Googled man up until 2 weeks ago. So guys, this is a great interview. You can watch it. The link will be below. But there is a specific part in this long podcast that we're going to review and react to because Andrew Tate, in a 1 minute, described perfectly, very eloquently, why there is a war on men. And this is something, if you are a man, you need to listen to very carefully because the more you pay attention to, the more aware you become. And if you're aware, you can strategize and be the best version of yourself, but use the information as tools so that you can actually fight back and trace a better path for yourself. But without further ado, let's jump into it.
When you have the youth, the masculine youth of the world, thinking for themselves, that's pretty scary to authority because it's the masculine youth of the world that is, one, the revolutionaries, and two, also, that's the backbone of the slave force. If you need people to go die in a ditch in Afghanistan, you need them. If you need people to work bullshit jobs in a coal mine with no health care, you need them. If you need people to blindly comply to bullshit, you need them more than anybody, more than you need the feminists and the liberals. You need the real men to go out there and comply with the bullshit, to live a shitty existence, to purport and prop up a system.
The warrior class.
The warrior class, right? And if enough of these men stand in one place and say this is enough, that's when a revolution happens. So this is the most dangerous group of the demographic that the matrix and the people are trying to control, and they have to have a narrative over, and that's why they're trying to weaken them in every regard. And when I'm sitting there saying, don't listen to the bullshit, become physically strong, think for yourself, prioritize your brotherhood above what the fucking matrix is telling you, do not blindly comply, resist the slave mind, all these things I'm saying, they just sat there one day and said, wait, the most popular person on the planet is saying, don't listen to our bullshit. Delete.
This is powerful. In 1 minute, guys, there's so many we can break down. I can make a whole podcast on this alone, just what he said. But there is something I want to pay attention to, right? What he describes that is the matrix is basically what we call the society, right? So I'm sure a lot of you are working 9 to 5, you go to your jobs and then you hope to retire one day. But hey, basically they're extracting your best time, right? They're extracting your resources right now. And eventually, if you're not dying from unhealthy food and unhealthy eating pattern, then you may actually, leave long enough for your retirement. What we're currently noticing right now is the baby boomers that are supposed to be retiring at 65, a lot of them actually have to extend their working times. They're working because they haven't saved enough. Their pension is gone. The value of their pension that they were saving hasn't got up in comparison to the inflation that we're seeing. So very important, right? So all that beautiful future that you were promising in a young age so that they can extract your resources now is not actually being delivered to the baby boomers. And if the baby boomers are having this problem right now, imagine what you're going to have in the next 30, 40 years. So basically, that's one of the reasons, right? It also comes down to power. When you have a lot of money, it comes power, right? We see the rise of Google, YouTube, Facebook, Silicon Valley in general, and they're kind of like imposing their worldviews on the entire world, having a huge influence on the entire world. So they're using these platforms to influence their worldviews. And a great way to emphasize your worldviews is by having less resistance as possible. But who will be having the more resistance is the young people, right? Full of energy, full of passions. They don't necessarily have all that wisdom, so they're the most dangerous, right? They can put all that force into channel it into actually resisting the change, right? So basically, that's what he's saying. He's saying that he has become a threat to the matrix, to the society, to the people that are trying to change and emphasize the world narrative, because his narrative goes totally against what he's saying. And what is he saying basically? Just like he said, just like you heard it from the video, he's saying basically be the best version of yourself, resist anything that's telling you not to be so, trying to at least question everything. He's talking about that on length in this podcast. Question basically what other people want from you, and do they actually want the best from you, right? So he's teaching men a lot of things in general, and this is another reason why they attack them. Now, for those who don't know, not only it was canceled on YouTube, but it was canceled on all social media and also payment processors. So imagine you had a whole business where you can receive payment online. Well, all that is canceled at a glance. But hey, another thing we can learn from Andrew Tate is, hey, because he has multi-income streams, that doesn't hurt him much. He can still keep the same lifestyle, right? He can still keep the same lifestyle without one major source of income being cut down, because he has multiple. So that's something we can learn. But how do you actually win the war on men? So that's definitely what Andrew Tate is teaching young men. And that's one of the reasons why he was canceled. But young men are actually in desperate need for messages like this, because even people that has fathers, the fathers doesn't necessarily teach strong masculine values to their sons. That's one thing. The other part is there is a lot of single mothers raising kids and raising sons as well. So you have those emotional men out there that are acting, reacting, and from your finance perspective, making a lot of finances, and they're not making a lot of impulse decision like a woman would. And you need discipline, especially if you're gonna resist your urge as a man, right? As we all men, we have urge. We see a nice, fine we see a woman with a nice body out there. It's our urge to go out there and chase it, right? So you need that discipline, that strong mindset to stay away from that. Just this weekend, I was talking to two guys. They were actually 16 years old. They were telling me it's really hard out there when it comes to dating women. And I'm like, they couldn't date anyone in their class. The girls doesn't care about them. The girls were using Instagram, pretending to be older and dating older men, right? As opposed to dating the men in their age. And these guys started to feel worthless. They're starting to lose motivation. And they were actually asking me for advice. And I was trying to tell them, hey, focus on your purpose, right? Don't worry about women right now. At the age that I am right now, it's a lot easier for me to acquire a man. Well, it's because in my 20s, I was focusing a lot on working on my purpose, going to school, getting a job, having the diploma, but also learning about businesses and side hustling. I was always trying to find something to increase my intellect. That's another reason why you see this picture right here, is to inspire me to keep increasing my intellect and my creativity, right? So I was telling them that, and you could tell that they were actually inspired by my work. Again, I was telling, hey, I'm not like a Brad Pitt looking guy, but even if I go on Tinder right now, I'm going to be matching like crazy, right? So that inspired them, and they were telling me that, oh man, you sound like a real G. And that's another way I realized Andrew Tate is having another good influence in the youth right now, because youth, they're not inspired. One of the things that this kid were telling me, they were telling me that, they wanted to quit school. And I was like, man, don't quit school. Work on the side, stay in school, get your diploma. At least that's a job guarantee. But at the same time, always be learning on how do you increase your income. And there is many ways you can learn on YouTube for free. So I was telling these kids that, and that's when I realized, man, the war on men is being attacked and is being felt in all over the place. And if these are the warrior class, as Andrew Tate mentioned, then that's a problem. How do you win the war on men? Well, as men, the first thing you need to do is work on your purpose. So what is a purpose? I actually made a video on purpose. For today's video, we're going to react very quickly on Alpha Male Strategy from Fresh and Fit Podcast. It was actually being asked the same question, and I love his answer. It's very short and sweet. Let's listen to it.
Purpose. And so I researched it, and I didn't really like the definition of what everybody else is saying. My definition of it is something that brings you happiness that benefits others. Right?
Perfect. That's a sweet way of saying it. Something that bring you happiness, passion. That's what I talk about in my video. Passion that also benefit others. When you mix your passions with what you can bring for the world, that creates the purpose. You focus on that. If you can manage to monetize that, that's a great way to beat the war of men, right? Because you focus not on women, you don't focus on anything else. You focus on being the best version of yourself, and you channeling all that in your purpose by helping other men, other women, society around you. And if you find a way to monetize that, what does that do? It increase your income, it increase your wealth, because you can invest that income into other assets and multiply your wealth faster. So definitely, how do you beat the war on men? You focus on your purpose and you monetize it. You monetize your purpose and increase your wealth, because with more wealth comes with more options, and with more options you have more freedom. Exactly that, like Andrew Tate demonstrate. Even with the ban, he's still enjoying his lifestyle. He still does whatever he wants. That's freedom right there. Number 2, all right, so this is the hack. This is something that you're not going to hear a lot on YouTube, especially in the manosphere, but this is from my own experience. That's what worked for me, and I wanted to share it with you as well. So here's the second way that you can beat the war on men, all right? As you're focusing on your purpose, put all your attention on that purpose. Don't focus on women, especially if you're in your 20s. Do not focus on women. But however, what you can do is, as you focus on that purpose, stay alerted, because you will be attracting women that have the same purpose. Let me rewind this back again, all right? You will be attracting women that have the same purpose. And a better way that you can realize your purpose by helping others is by partnering with this woman that's going to be helping you achieve your purpose faster. And nothing motivates a man more than pure feminine energy that's going to boost that fire in you, and that's going to bring this. This is another reason why I have this middle picture here, the fire in your heart, right? There's no better source of energy to create things. And sometimes a feminine woman can really bring this inside out of you, all right? And with that force can be a very powerful force for you to bring your purpose to a lot more people, to be re-energized and bring that in. So this is my special hack on how to achieve your purpose, and also how to be the best version of yourself. But not only that, how to win the war on men. First, you focus on your purpose. Second, you stay alert to see what women has the same purpose as you. And as a woman is working on her purpose, they're indirectly working on your purpose as well. If you guys partner together, you can actually build something, and that creates a long-lasting relationship with someone vetted, right? You know that has your back. You can use that experiencing on working on that purpose as a test to see if she's worthy of your last name. And with that said, we'll talk on the next video.
Hey, yeah, it's all about wealth engineering. Might be something that you're not used to. It's okay, cause I'm here to introduce you to concepts. Time to grow and make big moves.